Here from Tony'sPicks.com with you here. We'll try to get here 5 to 7 days a week here with our show. Of course, predictive modeling is brought to you by Rhythm app. Hey, if you would like to make your custom models, we recommend the Rhythm app. You can download it over at Apple, Google Play, or the Android store and get started on your custom models. And of course, it does save you a lot of time. It saves me between 30 minutes and 2 hours a day because while with the Rhythm, you still do the thinking. You still create your custom models using your 5 factors, and then Rhythm does all the rest. They do all the grunt work of having to score, load the data, load the stats, load the odds, grade, check out the variances, record keeping, return on investments, straight up wins. There's a lot of that goes into modeling, but Rhythm pretty much takes care of the grunt work, make it easy for you to pretty much to run your model. So anybody now can do it, whether you're a first timer. It's a good time to try it out. Now you can claim your 14-day free trial right now with Rhythm when you go over to the Rhythm app and get started. All right, let's continue on here. Let's get the show underway here. We got 2 plays for you. Of course, what we try to do is we try to look for money lines, and we will make the plays different than my rundowns that I do overnight. So we found 2 games, and we're gonna when I work with my models, I look for the edges that come in between 5 and 25%. Sometimes there's edges out there that are 30-40%. That's when you're way out of whack with the market price. You kind of stay away. So I look at the 5 to 25% edges here. So we'll go ahead and get underway. Let's get to the first pick today here on predictive modeling. And we're going to be looking at the South Alabama and Troy game. As you know, on the video, I gave out the underdog side, and we're going to come here with the money line here on South Alabama here at plus the 180. That comes in off my model. And I'll give you the numbers behind the game. Of course, I gave you the breakdown on the game here with South Alabama. This is the Jaguars defense is allowing just 3.4 yards per rush, and they're holding opposing quarterback just 58% completion rate. And Detroit, they have some issues with quarterback accuracy at 61%. And when you look at South Alabama in the Sun Belt, holding teams just 18 points and 281 yards a game. So looking at predictive modeling here, we like South Alabama plus 180. We got a win probability of 40%, so that brings the edge at 12.3%. So that's how the numbers work there. So we're going to South Alabama here with on the money line plus 180. All right, let's continue on here with predictive modeling. Pick number 2 here on our show. And we're going to NBA between Detroit and the Pelicans tonight. And on predictive modeling, we're going to come in with the Pistons money line here, plus 173, plus 185. I am giving you, you of course, get this number. This is the consensus line that I'm using from our app. Of course, in the app, we have all the U.S. sports books, and we came up with a consensus there. And that's what I do when I run my models. I use the consensus lines from all the U.S. sports books, DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, we've got WinBet, we've got, what else do I have here? MGM, WinBet, PointsBet is another one in there. So all the U.S. sports books, I derive the numbers, the odds from, and we come up with a consensus here on this show. So we like the money line here on the Pistons. As you know, we went with the total in that Detroit Pistons and Pelicans game. And Detroit actually defending pretty well this year, about 44% shooting they're allowing to opponents. And that's how we're going to look at it. Ingram is the question mark here for this Pelicans team. So let me see if I can get an injury update here on this on Ingram, because he's been dealing with that knee injury. You got to worry, even if he's playing, how effective he's going to be with that knee. That's always a major concern here. So we'll take a look here and find this out here. Both teams in this one coming off that game on Wednesday. And that was tough. You use that energy to overcome that 22-point lead. That's always tough. Yet we're still showing actually we can all add Zion Williamson out here. So that's another update here on the Pelicans. So no Zion tonight. So in this back-to-back spot, he's going to sit. Durant is questionable here for Detroit. But we're going to take a look here at Ingram's status. So that's one that just hit. That just one that hit the injury report right now. There's no Zion in the lineup for the Pelicans. That's a major injury, no doubt about that. But I do like that value there with the Pistons here with that plus 173. Still waiting here to get an update here on Ingram's status. Let me see if I can hit my injury report here. Actually, I got another injury report here that I can double. I got 2 of them going. I got my live line service as well. I'm subscribed to another service that shows me these live injury reports. Let me see if I can get any word here on Ingram here tonight. I'm showing Ingram still questionable here with that knee. Let me see if I can get any more words here. Questionable Thursday. Ingram is questionable here. He's missed the past 2 games with right knee soreness, and it's now been diagnosed as right knee tendonitis. So when you're dealing with tendonitis, you got to be careful there, because that usually is that usually can be a trigger to a long-term injury. So if you got tendonitis, you shouldn't play. And we're going to say here that it's still up in the air. It'll be a game time decision. So with tendonitis, that seems like an upgraded injury versus the out. So Ingram now has been questionable, but the injury now has gone up a level here from soreness to tendonitis in the knee. But again, we like the Pistons here on the money line at plus 173. So let's go ahead and we got 2 of them for you. As I said, short card today. Didn't see an edge on the money line or the total in the Steelers and Titans game. As you know, in the video, I gave out the Titans plus the 3 in that one, and I didn't see an edge on that one at all. And I think in the end there was an NBA game that had a huge edge, but again, if it's only, I'm going to stick to if they're in the 5 to 25% range, I'm going to stick to that. I'm not going to go beyond that. There was one that hit that over 25% criteria, but I'll just share with you. You can track on yourself, because I felt it was a little out of whack when you're at 33%. I think it was. Let me see here. Yeah, this wasn't it. Which game was it that had that huge discrepancy here? There was one that had a big one here, but actually, let me see here. Let me go to the total. Yeah, let me go to my totals models here. My total model had one that was really, 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 really high. Let's see, what do we at here? Hang on. Let's see what I had on that total in that. Yeah, the total in the Spurs game. Nope, it's not. It was a low edge. It was only 4.4% edge, right down the middle. It was right around the number. I've got 227. That's 227. So that's right at the number. So no total there in the Spurs and the Suns. It might have been a money line. Come to think of it, let me see here. Nope. I think I was looking at this was the one here with the Spurs money line. Yeah, it seems like a 50% edge. Seemed out of whack here. Spurs plus 314 had a 50% edge, and that was on my 20% ROI money line model here. But that's a huge edge there. So Spurs plus 314 falls beyond the 25% edge percentage. This one's 50%, so that's way out of whack here. So I won't give that one out officially on the show, but I just wanted to share that information with you. Again, if you're thinking money line, there is a huge value on the Spurs money line. Greatly inflated. Might be just system, people wanting to go against the fact that they can win again. Phoenix coming off the loss. Unlikely they'd win 2 in a row. Maybe that's maybe that's why there's huge value on San Antonio money line. But there you go for that line. You're seeing here the Suns favorite 9, and you see a money line of plus 3 over $3 with the Spurs. That's kind of, like I said, kind of up there. All right, so I'm staying away from that one. But for the show, let's go ahead and recap the show picks here. We're going to give you South Alabama money line at plus 180. And then we're coming in here with the Pistons money line at plus 173. So we've got 2 money lines for you from our predictive modeling. From my model, I model my games. That's why I'm able to handicap several games, pretty much cover the board for you. And right now I'm using the Rhythm app to do that. Pretty much the same. I'm able to program my 5 factors in there, weigh them. But with Rhythm, they handle all the grunt work, like loading the odds, finding the variances, showing me the percentages, showing me the straight up win rates, ATS rates, showing me the best bets, and of course the target best bets I'm looking for whenever I have a 5 to 25% edge. Those are the ones I fire on, and those are the ones I share with you here on the show. And of course, sometimes when they're over 25%, it's likely during the models say kind of stay away from those that are below 5% and above 25%, because there may be some other indicators in there on why there's this huge discrepancy between the market price and my model price. So that's how we look at it. So that's how I handle those. All right, that's going to do it here for predictive modeling for today. Again, if you have any questions, be sure to contact me with your questions. I'll be sure to answer them here in the chat. We're here every day, at least Monday through Friday. We'll try and fit some shows during the weekend. And of course, remember that you can claim your 14-day free trial right now with Rhythm when you go over to the Apple Store, Android, or Google Play, and you go ahead and open up an account, create those custom models. Right now we have college football, college basketball, NBA, WNBA, more sports coming. I've been told it looks like soccer, player props. By spring we should have baseball in there, and we'll be ready to roll here with your predictive model. So guys, I recommend modeling. It really helps you a lot, saves you a lot of handicapping time. You can have more vision for the entire board. And for those of you that just watch games, well, this is another tool for you to use. So I recommend it as well. It's and no better time than now, because as I said, you still have to do the thinking to create your models and create your factors and weigh them, but you save a lot of time from having to do all the grunt work, and that's where Rhythm comes in, and I think it's very valuable. So you get the 14-day free trial. The upgrade price for the custom averages up to about $99 a month, $3.33 a day to save you 30 minutes to 2 hours a day of handicapping. To me, it's a no-brainer. It is a no-brainer. That's why I met the Rhythm folks over at Bet Bash. They came to me with the model. They gave me an account. They said, try it out. Give us some VBAS, give us some endpoints. I was using it before we came on, before we brought him on as a sponsor, and Rob was sold on it. I really liked it. It's, again, as I said, saves me a lot of time. And look, I trust a lot of those stat sites. I mean, those stat sites out there and those tool sites out there are good. But the thing with those tool sites, and if you're a sophisticated bettor and you're really in the know, you really want to basically to have control over the factors into the model, right? Because you really have no control. When you're looking at someone's stats, someone's predictions, that's theirs, it's not yours. And that's what I like about Rhythm, is basically they do have their own core that you can incorporate into your model, but you have your own custom where you can just not use their core, and it's just your 5 factors that you put into your model, and you can track performance, return on investments, spread percentage wins, straight up wins, and you can create multiple models. Like I have a model for my spreads, my totals, and my money lines, and then one from each sport. I do that, so I have one model that way. That's how I'm able to track performance and see my return on investment. Now, obviously, my money lines are not always going to be, I like to look at the dogs, right? So I'm not always going to be at 50% win. So I recommend you guys giving it a look and get signed up. All right, that's going to do it here for predictive modeling. Hope you guys get over there and take a look at it and start modeling, creating your models too, so you can share some of your numbers with us and share some of your factors that you use into, and you'll be able to see huge lines of lots of factors indeed in the modeling. You know, like NBA, I always like to look at offensive and defensive efficiency, 3-point shooting, obviously the defense goes into it. In football, some of the factors I like to look for is rushing and passing yards per drive. I like that because I like to see the consistent teams that deliver on their drives more consistently than others. I also like to look here at tackles for loss. Tackles for loss is a factor that I really like because it tells me you have an aggressive defense. It factors into sacks, putting pressure on quarterbacks, and of course, tackling running backs behind the line of scrimmage. That means that you have a very, very good front four and a very good pass rush, which is very important now in NFL and in college football. As we just saw that UCLA-Colorado game, you can tell you the importance when you have a strong defensive line up against a weak offensive line. You're going to get a lot of tackles for loss, put a lot of pressures, get a lot of sacks, and you really pretty much control the game. So those are some of the factors that I use. Of course, you can go in there and check your own out, so you may have your own opinion on what you think you should factor into your handicapping, and do that. And then track the performance, and as time goes on, you can tweak it. See, that's a great idea here with Rhythm, is you can go in and tweak your model and let Rhythm take care of all the grunt work. All the time-consuming work is handled by Rhythm. All right, we're through with this. We got the drive-through coming up in about half an hour, but I wanted to get the Rhythm. I wanted to get the our predictive modeling in, and we'll be back again tomorrow. All right, that'll do it. I'll be back in a few minutes, about a half an hour with the drive-through, and we'll talk to you guys later here on the Rhythm Show, on the predictive modeling show. I'm Tony Z. We'll talk to you guys later.